Hello all, this is Anupama Zavargi here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss the second step of the law of attraction, and that is belief. So I hope you have already watched the first video. I am giving a link here if you haven't watched that, and please do that, and also make a list of all your goals or the 30 things you want to do, be and have. So I'm assuming that you have done that, and now let's take the next step. So the next step is a very important step, and that is belief. Napoleon Hill, who is a famous American author and one of the pioneers of self-help, self-development movement, what he said was that whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So our mind is such a powerful instrument that it can literally create anything for us as long as we believe that it is possible. So earlier scientists used to believe that our brain, humans respond to things that the brain sees from the outside world. Whatever happens around us, we respond to that. But now scientists are realizing that our brain produces results based on the lifetime of experiences that we have had and what the brain expects it to happen next. So based on that we get results. So let me give you an example. Doctors in Texas, they wanted to check Texas, USA. They wanted to check the how efficient the arthroscopic surgery for knees were. So what they did was they divided three patients into three groups. These were all patients who had really sore, worn out, and painful knees. So they divided them into three groups. The first group, what they did was they scraped their knees. The second, they washed the knees, and for the third one, what they did was they did a pretend surgery. So for all the three groups, they had the same kind of anesthesia. They had like those three holes that they drilled to insert all the instruments, and they did exactly the same thing on the third group, but they didn't do anything after that. So it was just a pretend surgery. They just opened it, closed it, nothing was done. And then they tracked the progress of all the patients. So 2 years down the line, they realized that the patients who had had this pretend surgery had actually the same kind of results that were seen in patients who had had the actual surgery. So why did this happen? That because the people who had that pretend surgery expected that their knees are going to get better, right? Because they didn't know that they had a pretend surgery. So only the doctors knew. So they thought they had had the surgery, they had all the stitches, they had everything, the same kind of hospital stay and stuff like that. So their mind was sure that they've had the surgery. So that's why they were expecting that the knee is going to get better now, better and better now. And that's exactly what the doctors saw that the results were. And I think you all must have heard about the placebo effect. That's what they do when they're testing the drugs also. They give some patients sugar pill, and then they test whether the actual pill works better than this sugar pill. Because a lot of people just get better thinking that they have got the pill for their ailment, and when actually they have just got a sugar pill. So this is exactly because the brain is expecting it to happen, that starts producing the same kind of result. So after we make that list of our goals, our dreams, or whatever the things that we want to do, be and have, we need to go about having some sort of a positive expectancy about it. So if you keep doubting it all the time, that's what the result you are going to get. So you have to have some positive expectancy. You have to think in this way that you have handed it over to a force or some power higher than you. So you have handed it over to the universe. Now it's their job to figure it out how it's going to be done. Why is it hard for us to believe sometimes, even though it's our dreams, our list, our goal list? Because, we have a lot of limiting beliefs about these kind of things. So a lot of times, we think that we are not lovable, we are not smart, or we are not worthy. That's a thing that a lot of people have, that they are not worthy to achieve this kind of success. They are not deserving of this kind of success. And this is a lot because of the way we have been thinking, and also due to the programming that we have had, the things that people have said to us earlier in our lives. maybe consciously, maybe unconsciously, but we have been holding on to those things. So a lot of us, I hear now, have this thing that they're not enough, not attractive enough, not rich enough, not smart enough, or enough in any other, strong enough, or enough in any other kind of way that you can think of. So we have to get over these kind of limiting beliefs of not enoughness. So some of the exercises I've already shared which help a lot with this kind of limiting beliefs, and those are the I can't, I won't exercise, the how to convert your I can't to I can. And the other great exercise that I have shared is a mirror exercise. These things, limiting beliefs are so deep rooted. So just doing it once or twice will not help. So that's why I recommended you to do the mirror exercise at a stretch, for at least 40 days in a row. So, little by little, you increase your belief in your dreams, in your self-worth, because that is the most important. You need to have that kind of self-worth to think that what you want, you are going to get. So you need to overcome any of the limiting beliefs in this area. So those exercises, if you haven't done them, I would highly recommend you start doing those, because this doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. So you're going to build on these beliefs slowly. So now, what is the next step? You have made the list. You have a positive expectancy about it. The next step, and the most important step I think that people miss, is taking action. Because the law of attraction, last 6 words of attraction is action. So some kind of action is definitely needed. Just having a list and positive thinking is not going to get you everything that you want. You need to contribute towards it through some kind of action. It helps me to look at this in terms of a farmer sows the seeds, right, in his farm. So he has a positive expectancy about it, right? He believes that he is going to get a crop. So he doesn't, check every day, take it out of the ground and see whether it has germinated or not. He believes. But is that just going to be enough? No. His crop needs to be watered like whenever it needs, right? He needs fertilizer and stuff like that. So we have also sown the seeds of what our dreams now. And what we need to do is we need to water them. And what is the way to water them is by our actions. So there are 2 kinds of actions. The first one is obvious action. Let's say you're looking for a dream job and you want to change your job. What is the first thing you need to do is make a resume, right? That's an obvious action. A lot of people have goal around their health, that they want to lose weight and stuff like that. So the first action, obvious action, is either change your diet or change your exercise. You need to do something differently in order to achieve that goal. Let's say somebody you're a student and you want to appear for some competitive exam and stuff like that. So the obvious action is keep studying hard, right? Find new ways of studying and really studying hard, because those kind of action is absolutely essential in order for you to achieve any dream that you want. Just positive expectancy is not going to help here. So after this, these are like obvious actions. Whatever your goals are, I'm sure you can come up with some first obvious action. Then the second kind of action are a little interesting. They are the inspired actions. Now that you have handed your list to the universe, you will suddenly get like that gut feeling that you need to call somebody, or you need to attend some conference, or you need to read some book. These kind of small inklings, or something intuitive hits you are going to get in your mind and your heart. And sometimes they may happen during that hour of power I shared with you all. Sometimes these kind of things happen during meditation, or even when taking a shower. Like sometimes you suddenly get a flash, something, oh, I need to try this thing, or I need to call this person. Something like that happens. That is where the magic lies. So when you get these kind of inklings, or these kind of, sometimes you may see it in your dream also. But when you get these kind of hints, you need to take some action, some inspired action at that point, and you need to trust. Because a lot of people, they start thinking, oh, I'm supposed to call, I feel like calling this person. Oh, what is this person going to do? What is this person going to help? What is the next step going to be? How is this person, calling this person, in the larger scheme of things? So don't go into that kind of a judgmental thing, or thinking too much ahead. You don't need to know all the steps, as I've told you, in our journey. So the GPS is going to take care of that. If you have an inkling and it's not something such a big step, just start taking action, inspired action based on that gut feeling that you are getting. So you never know, that person might tell you something about some of your goals, or he might have be doing something else now, and which could help you in your journey. I don't know what it's going to be, but you definitely, when you get these kind of inklings which are not normal, you have not had these when you were not thinking about your goals and stuff like that previously. So this is something new that's coming to you in your mind and your heart, and I think you need to take some kind of action on these also, and trust that you will know the next step when you actually get there. You don't need to know the whole journey right now, but that first step becomes very important. So obvious action and inspired action, both are necessary, and that's where the magic lies. You'll be surprised. Literally some book will fall down from the shelf sometimes when you go to a bookstore, or somebody will just mention, or you'll read some post about something on LinkedIn or somewhere, and then you'll get a flash of insight. Or you might sometimes some videos pop up in your YouTube feed. So if you think you find that something sounds interesting, click on that, check it out what it is. You might get some clues to your next step. So both these are very essential. And the third thing is, a lot of people wait for everybody else around them to believe in that idea, or in that goal, or in that thing that you are going to be successful. So if you keep waiting, and if you want to convince everybody else about your success, it's never going to happen. So what is more important is you believing in your goals, you believing that you are worthy enough to achieve that success, and not everybody else believing. Because if everybody else is believing and you are not believing, you are not going anywhere. It's like, it's of no use. So most important thing in your life, in your success, is what you feel inside, what you believe. So, you work on your limiting beliefs, and not on convincing everybody else that this is the next step and this is what you need to do. Because they have their own limiting beliefs. They a lot of times when they will see your success, they might fall in line. But don't spend so much energy trying to convince everybody around you that this is what your dream is and this is feasible. You can talk to a few people, and that too, who also have a positive mindset. Only talk to those people, because a lot of people, when you discuss with them, they have such a negative mindset that they convince you not to do, and they increase to your limiting beliefs instead of actually encouraging you. So just stay low, just work on those things, take all the actions that are required, and slowly as you take actions, actually you start reaffirming the belief more and more, right? So once you start taking the action, you see some small results, it again affirms, and then your belief increases. So this is like a feedback loop. Every action, again, it increases belief, and because you believe, you take the next action, and that's how you progress. So don't worry about what others are thinking. If they think that you have gone crazy and you're thinking all this is achievable, that's their view. Because I like Dr. Daniel Emmons' quote on this, that it's like when he has a 80-40-60 rule. So what he says is, at 18 you worry about what everybody else is thinking about you. At 40 you don't care a darn what others are thinking about you. And at 60 you realize that nobody has been thinking about you. So that's what it is in life, like everybody is just thinking about themselves. So you too need to think about your goals, and not worry about convincing everybody else. They will fall in line later when they see what you have achieved with law of attraction. So if you like the video, please press the like button, share it with others who might find this useful, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video on the next step of the journey, that is receive. So see you next time. Thank you.